Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would talk to you about makeup brushes. I wanted to start with sort of essential makeup brushes that I think everyone should have for those who are beginning, starting out with makeup, and also for those who maybe been doing makeup for longer or want to try new looks. Just basically there's so many brushes out there and I just wanted to talk you through what I personally think are the essential brushes to have so that you can create any makeup look that you want. So I'm just going to take you through essentials rather than like a brush that I'd only use once a month. I'm bringing you through brushes that I use on a daily basis to create a variety of different looks. So let's get started. The first brush I want to talk to you about is the Morphe M439 brush. This is a foundation brush and this is literally one of the best brushes I've ever purchased because I use it on a daily basis and it really blends out your foundation absolutely beautifully. It just makes it really seamless and smooth looking, and it allows you to apply a really full coverage look as well. It doesn't sort of leave you looking streaky or stripy. It just small circular motions and then boom, lovely flawless looking skin. So I really highly recommend this for a foundation brush, and I do recommend that even if you don't get this brush that you do have a foundation brush, and I recommend that you get one that is a kabuki style rather than a flat style paintbrush style, one that's a round kabuki style or even a flat kabuki style, but the kabuki style really does allow you to apply more of the product and get a more seamless blended look without having to do too much work. The next brush that I really recommend having is a concealer brush, and this is the Stigma Concealer F70 brush, and what I use this for is applying concealers that don't have a little spatula on it. So for example, MAC Studio MAC Pro Longwear concealer, it doesn't have an applicator, you have to pump it out. Then I will brush this on, and because of the fineness of this tip, you can do sort of painting down the bridge of the nose under eye. You can be really accurate. You can take this around the eyebrow when you want to carve it out and make it more sharp. So I really recommend having a fine thin tipped concealer brush. The next brush I recommend for the face to have is a powder brush, and I really recommend the Sephora Pro Featherweight brush number 91, and it looks like this. It's just a big sort of full head dense powder brush that is domed, so it means that the dome allows the product to be applied not too heavily because of the different lengths of bristles. It means that basically you won't get like powder face overload, and I really recommend this because of the size of it. You get a lot of coverage really quickly and it just applies powder absolutely beautifully, and I can't recommend this highly enough. So you buy this from Sephora's website, since we don't have any Sephoras in the UK sadly, which is the bane of my life. If we could just have a Sephora, that would make me happy in the UK. The next brush I really recommend is having a bronzing brush, so something to apply bronzer, and I really like using the Morphe E2 brush. So this is the Elite collection from Morphe, and it's the new collection, so it's got the red tip instead of the white tip, and this is just a really nice large dense and very soft bristled brush. And you can see the sides of my face, it just applies a lot of bronzer, but it also applies in a really light touch, so you can build it up and you don't get like muddy face. And it's really good for sort of soft contouring when you're like putting bronzer up on your forehead, along your cheeks. And it's so soft on the face. So I really recommend a bronzing brush, and I really like this bronzing brush. But if you don't have this type of bronzing brush, I recommend any bronzing brush that you get not to be like as big as the powder brush, but to have it quite large so that you're applying a large amount of the product at the same time, so you blend it out smoothly. If you have a really tiny little bronzing brush, it can get quite choppy looking. The next brush I recommend that everyone has is a blusher brush, and I really like this blusher brush from Morphe, and it's an E4 brush. And the nice thing about this is that it's got the angle, and it basically is really soft, and because of the angle it means that it helps you guide up the brush when you're applying it, and it applies it on a really nice amount. It doesn't put on too much product and not too little, so I really recommend that. And I do recommend, if you do get a blusher brush, to make sure that it's an angled, because then it goes with your natural contour and applies blush beautifully. The next brush I recommend people having is a tapered highlight Stigma F35 brush that looks like this. So this is a tapered brush, and what do I use this for? I use this for setting my under eyes with a light powder, and I also use this for the highlight on the high points of my cheek. So again, this is a brush that I use every day, and I think like there's so many different types of highlighting brush, but I really like this because it applies it in a very neat, accurate way, so you can really be precise where you want it, bringing it down the bridge of the nose. So I really recommend this brush. But again, if you don't go for this brush, I recommend a tapered style brush for applying a highlight. The next brush I want to recommend is the Morphe E8 brush, which is this. It's part of the Elite collection. So this brush has two functions. One, you can use this as a to blend out concealer. So I normally use like a Real Techniques sponge to blend out my concealer, but you can use this brush to blend out your concealer, and it's really nice for that. And the other function that this has, obviously it would need to be cleaned if you've just blended out your concealer, is for contouring. Because it's very neat, dense and concise, you can contour in under your along the cheek line and just really go in there with a really nice contour. So I usually actually use this for contouring. The next brush we're going to go on to are brushes for eyes. So that's all the face brushes that I would recommend you having for a complete look. The first eye brush I would recommend is the Stigma tapered E40 brush, and this is a tapered fluffy blending brush, and this is really good for your transition colours. When you first start your eyeshadow look, you can really blend this out, and because it's really sort of soft and synthetic, it puts on a lot of product but not too much because of the tapering, which means you can blend out really smoothly. So I really recommend everyone to get a tapered blending brush, and I really recommend the Stigma one. I have bought other ones, and the Stigma one for me has lasted the longest, and I think it's the best quality one that I've ever used, and it just blends out. And without a good blending eyeshadow brush, it's so hard to get really seamless, smooth looking transitioned blended eyes. So of all eyeshadow brushes, I feel like this is a must to have in your collection. Next we will go on to another brush for your crease, and that's the blending E25 brush from Stigma. So this is now a goat hair bristled brush, and it's more densely packed in. So basically the brushes are more tight and dense, and this packs in more colour when you're going along the crease and trying to blend in, but in a more stronger, building up the colour way. So I'd start with the fluffy brush, then go into this brush when I want to pack on more colour on the crease, but still it blends out and keeps everything looking seamless and very smooth. So really recommend that brush. The next brush I recommend to have for eyes is the Sephora Pro Small Shadow Brush number 15, and it looks like this. It's just a little flat shader brush to apply colour to the eyelids. So this I will use to put on the colour onto the eyelids, and this packs on a lot of colour, and because of the size you can keep it really neat and precise, and also you can use this for inner corner highlight and brow bone highlight as well. Really recommend that brush. The next the eye brush I want to talk to you about is the Morphe E18 brush. This is a pencil brush where you can use it for under the eyes to smoke out the look, or along the crease when you're doing a cut crease, or trying to bring more depth and darkness to the outer corner. So this is a really great brush for that. The next eye brush that I would really recommend people to have is a flat liner brush. So this is really good for going under, putting shadow along the waterline, doing a smoked out liner on the top when you're using shadow for liner. And this is a Ruby and Millen, so I've had this brush a long time, but any flat definer brush I really recommend to have in your kit and in your makeup kit, so that you can create looks where you're doing a liner eyeshadow look. The next and final brush I'd like to talk to you about is the Stigma Small Angled E65 brush. Oh my goodness, this brush changed my life when I got it. It's like so tiny and so precise, and it's so good when you're doing gel liner. It just makes gel liner the easiest thing ever. Before I got this, I would use brushes. Let me just show you what I used to use. I would use an eyeliner brush like this, which is really good from Real Techniques. It does a very thin line, but you have to work a lot harder when using a brush shape like that. When I got this I was like, oh my goodness, I can create really nice cat eye winged liners. Really, you can go so fine liner, you can build it up and go thick. So I really, really recommend this Stigma small angled E65 brush. If you want a good eyeliner brush, get this. This will last a long time and it will really make your eye look a lot more professional and a lot more sleek. So recommend that. So that is all the brushes. There's quite a few, so some people might be feeling like, wow, that's quite a lot of brushes as an essential kit, but once you actually have these brushes, you can create any makeup look, and it just really makes any makeup, even if you're using low quality makeup, when you apply it with these type of brushes, you can just get really flawless looks, and actually it makes cheaper makeup look better quality. So I hope you did find this video helpful, and maybe you have learned about some new brushes. Do leave me a comment below, tell me about your favourite brushes, what's your go-to brush for foundation or anything like that. I always love hearing what other people use, and if you like this video, do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!